Semi-finals of the Coral UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, live on ITV Sport. And at this time we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world to Butlins Minehead. It's time now to meet our semi-finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the German Darts Championship. Time to meet Alan Chuck Norris! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of two PDC ranking events. Let's meet the Iceman, Kevin Price!
Well, Alan's behind the mic for this one, keeping an eye on the Iceman, Gerwyn Price, and he's joined by Stuart Pike. Good evening.
Yes, thanks, Jackie. Fantastic afternoon. No reason to think that we won't have a terrific evening. It will be the first new winner of a major TV title since 2012, when Michael van Gerwen won the World Grand Prix in Dublin. And a month before that, of course, Simon Whitlock won the European Championship. So it's been a long time coming, and Alan Norris and Gerwyn Price will both believe that this is their time. Both winning those nail-biting quarterfinals. Kim Huybrechts missing two match darts, and Norris with back-to-back 180s in the deciding leg. And Gerwyn Price, quite simply, with the shot of his life to take out that 160 to beat Ian White. So it's all there for both players. A place in the final, but also the bonus of a place in the Grand Slam of Darts for the winner.
First leg is Gerwyn.
Yes, we're again in the depths of another PDC major. Both players are in uncharted territory. For the victor, further treasures. We've had close encounters in the quarterfinals. Who will prevail? Both settling in slowly.
140.
Best of 21, don't forget. Increases in the semi-finals and the final to best of 21 legs.
100.
20-minute break between the second semi-final and the final. Peter Wright and Daryl Gurney to come. The sponsors of the UK Open. As Alan Norris hits a second 140. Peter Wright, the 5-2-1 favourite. Alan Norris at 5-1. Daryl Gurney at 7s. And Gerwyn Price, the outsider, at 15-2. But he's left himself a finish with that maximum.
What he kept doing in that quarter-final was just holding onto his throw on quite a few occasions, but he kept in the match. And that's the key. Even when you're getting outscored, keep in the match. And you may get that opportunity.
95. Alan, you require 90.
Well, he did take this out in his win over Huybrechts in the quarter-final. Great dart to leave double 10
No score.
Oh, he's busted. He's busted.
Giving
Look at that.
45.
It's in the same place as Ian White.
Ian White, yeah. And Price punished Ian White for going in the double 15. And he's punished Alan Norris.
Gary Price. Second Alan in throw first. Game on.
And Norris will bemoan his luck there. It wasn't a badly thrown dart either, was it? Millimetre the other way.
Well, that's fair enough. At the end of the day, you missed the double 10. But what could have been a problem, if he'd have come back to the board, he would have had to start on 90 again, and he may not have got a throw. So that problem
60.
didn't happen.
It's all very interesting. Peter Wright, number 3 in the world, as we say, the tournament favourite, but
60.
Gerwyn Price, Alan Norris, and indeed Daryl Gurney, who features against Wright in the next semi-final, all chasing down Simon Whitlock in a place in the top 16 of the world rankings.
81.
So it could be a very significant night.
Tell you what is significant as well is these 4 players that are in the semi-finals are players that play regularly on the Pro Tour and get to the later stages quite often. It's no coincidence.
60.
Lovely live for Alan Norris.
140.
21 maximums in his last 3 matches.
134. Alan, you require 76.
The 134 from Price doesn't leave a finish. Should be academic. Tops for Norris. What a piece in the semi-final.
Third leg is curling in row first. Game on.
Yep, nice and clean.
41.
Norris. Two very determined players here on the hockey. I'm sure we'll see some emotion as the match progresses.
135.
And also, I think stagecraft and stage experience may play a part. Alan Norris has reached a TV final.
84.
A Lakeside World Championship final. But new territory for both in the ranks of the PDC.
100.
Well, it's going to be difficult to better those 4 quarter-finals, Stuart. 3 10-9s and then that unbelievable game between Barney and Peter Wright. Exceptional quality all the way through the match.
59.
Good darts, Gerwyn Price. Second maximum.
Well, the slow start to the leg with that maximum gives him a great opportunity to hold throw.
57.
Always important, these early legs.
Double 10.
42. Alan, you require 150.
Hit the treble clinically there, but not as close to the double 10 as he would like to have been. Well, this would certainly light things up. Double 15 for 150. Boom!
Well, against high breaks, he took out 160 at about this stage of the game to break the Belgium star. And a 150 here to break the Welshman. Well, Price must have thought he was going to come back. 2 missed starts at double 10, but Norris is on fire.
180.
Great darts from Norris. 150 finish,
140.
followed by the max.
Well, he hit a 9-darter here at Minehead in the Players' Championship final.
66.
Stage 2.
As soon as you mentioned it, Stuart, it's your fault.
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
30-odd thousand pounds, I think.
97.
35 grand he
And I
won.
mentioned yesterday when he first came over to the PDC, he hit 2 9-darters very early on against the same player, Jason Lovett, who loves to be reminded of that.
Mental strength comes into it, though, on a day like this, with a TV major at stake. I suppose more so as well for these 4 players, with what's at stake. You know, history for one of them.
Well, they've already had 4 maximums in the match.
Perfect timing for the 180 from Price. Not only does it put pressure on Norris, it forces Norris to miss. He needs the ball.
59.
Millimetre again.
68.
Key moments. Norris has just broken through. Needs to hold to take control of the semi-final. 1 dart. Tops.
Game show the 4th leg. Alan Norris.
Well, the last 3 legs, he's hit the double with the first dart. That's what's given him the lead. Price, his 4th maximum. Already boiling up this first semi-final.
59.
Another cracker to follow. This one is going on pretty well, Stuart.
Yeah,
85.
104 average, 103, 104 for Gerwyn Price, nearly 99 for Alan Norris.
Probably the only mistake was the bust score. And that was only 1 dart. Went for double 10 and in the corner of double 15. Since then, both players haven't really made too many errors.
58.
Price through first here, but he's a long way ahead in the leg before the break.
95.
Finally a big treble, but way back on 306 after 9 darts thrown, Norris.
134.
Should go for 19s here from 306. 4 19s and a treble 20. Would have left a finish.
Going to require 44. $24.
Still has some time. And Price last missed the double. And leg 3, Norris stepped in with a 150 finish.
65.
Didn't leave himself anything to chew on there.
10 score.
Wow, 5 missed darts at double.
40.
Norris on 140.
Well, he's already taken out that 150. This would really hurt. Can't do anything now, though.
78. Going to require 10.
So double 5 for Price.
Yeah,
Gets there in the end. Alan Norris with the advantage with a break of throw, courtesy of a fabulous 150 finish. It looks like being close again in the first semi-final of the UK Open. Norris with the edge. First to 11, leading 3-2. We will have a new champion, we will have a new winner of a major TV event. Peter Wright and Darryl Gurney to come here. Alan Norris leading 3-2, first to 11. Chuck Norris against Gerwyn, the Iceman Price. Quite an argument going on social media about the nickname of the Iceman. Many people saying there is only one, the original one, Alan.
Well, that's what my wife says, and I believe her.
105. 40.
Never argue with Brenda.
I prefer your walk-on music as well. Cold as Ice by Foreigner. Much more my era.
95.
Foreigner for Warrener. Dart on the floor.
96.
Well thought out, boys.
Lovely from Norris.
125.
Kiss off the barrel, deflecting it into the single 5.
Still leaves a finish.
Price played really well, you know. Not made really any mistakes. How about that? 171 to lead 94.
Can't do it now. Treble 20. Would have left.
Given you require 94.
double.
But the 171 has earned him a shot. Treble 18 for the double. If the 171 was so good, we'll be disappointed with the follow-up here.
70. And you require 105.
Well, this is just a whole throw.
Yeah, options here. That last dart, wasn't it, in the 5? Can't do it now.
65. Given you require 24.
To give us a level match in the semis. That's got to be a good guide for him. Yeah, absolutely perfect. And it was. The 171 earned him the shot. He took it.
Yeah, that was a difference in the leg, wasn't it? That big score, just at the right time.
80.
Still plenty more drama to unfold.
They've played each other only 3 times. Norris leads 2-1.
140.
But this is the first time that Price and Norris have met on a big TV stage.
100.
Well, one of Norris's features in the last 2 rounds, Stuart, was his maximum scoring. 21 in his last 3 matches.
100.
He's only hit 1 so far, and we're in leg 7. Still scoring pretty well, but just not getting the maximums he was
a little concerned for him.
earlier.
Too many darts going in the 5 as well.
Well, there has to be no doubt as well. It's got to be in their minds as the chance of getting into the final, winning a title, and getting all the rewards you get for getting a title or to the final. Lots to play for.
66. Going to require 121.
So a chance for Norris.
62. Alan, you require 110.
1 treble with the first 2 darts. We'll give him a shot.
Thought he might have stayed there then.
Yeah, me too.
98.
The light.
Yeah, it was sitting so nicely, wasn't it? To go ahead. Lovely darts. That's 3 legs on the spin for the Welshman.
So in for Norris. Well, we mentioned his maximums in the previous leg. Now he gets his second of the match.
93.
Gavin Price celebrates his 32nd birthday on Tuesday. What a present this would be to win a big TV title.
60.
And down for the 19s.
58.
You remember that feeling. I know it's a long time ago, but you finally won a big PDC event, didn't you, in Dublin at the World Grand Prix some 17, 18 years ago, but it does change things, doesn't it?
Well, apart from the obvious, it's the confidence it gives you for the next tournaments in the season.
170.
Another one of those.
98.
Still okay though, still in a good position.
Alan, you require 72.
72 for a level game. Tops.
52.
Peter Wright against Darryl Gurney to come.
134. Alan, you require 20.
Pressure on the shot now, okay, for Alan Norris. Well done. Good switch, 4 apiece. On we go.
He needed that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's always that feeling inside when you're playing on that big stage when you've lost 2 or 3 legs on the trot. Just adds that little bit of doubt in the back of your mind. That should have gone after hitting the double there, because it's still 4 apiece, still all to play for.
100.
4 legs apiece. Price has thrown twice as many darts at the double.
100.
Here we go again.
180.
Lost
Back
2
comes
legs.
Gerwin.
140.
He's left to finish. The 180 though from Norris may yet make a difference. He'll be thinking 2-2-1 in 6 darts, and well, after that he may need them.
Well, it stops him in his tracks. Apart from dropping the dart, he now needs to hit something pretty decent here, and that's not good enough. Needs a treble to leave a finish.
Given your car 164. 104. Alan, you require 143.
Well thought out by Price.
And again, a lot of players use that bull 25 option. Treble 17. Would have left double 16.
102. Given you require 60.
1 out of 3 on tops. 2
2
out of 4 on tops, and he leads 5-4, despite the maximum from Norris in the leg.
Tune himself up, Norris.
Both averaging around 95. We're just waiting for one of them just to go through the gears.
There will be a break following this leg. So 5 apiece or 6-4. And then big gather your thoughts time for the final push.
100.
Sarcastic applause from Price for his efforts there.
Yeah,
not much better from his opponent. Key leg, you feel?
I think that's why the scoring has gone away at the moment. All players know how important it is. This will help.
180.
up immensely. Pressure on Norris. I feel a ton may not be enough.
Perfect timing for the maximum.
57.
We've had two poor visits from Norris. It's advantage Price here in this semi-final. Is he going to go for the ball?
No, straight for Big Ten. Had to.
It was the right decision, I'm sure.
100. Go when you require 40.
To make it 5 legs out of 6.
Well, he didn't go for the ball, he went for Big Ten to leave 3 darts in his hand at the double.
Double 10 for Alan Norris. Well, how important could that prove to be? A fabulous 90 finish. Price didn't go for the ball on a big 164 check, but he did miss 3 darts for 6-4, and Norris rescues the leg. A nail-biting semi-final looks like going the distance, with Price and Norris locked at 5 legs apiece. The 2017 UK Open, Alan Norris, massive double 10 to level it up at 5-all after Gerwyn Price missed 3 darts to go 6-4 in front. How significant may that prove to be? It'll certainly put a spring in the step of Alan Norris, first to 11 to go through to the final, to play either Darryl Gurney or Peter Wright.
Yes, he definitely needed that double 10 there, otherwise he would have been under undue pressure in this session. There's no doubt, Stuart, both players are aware
93.
of the prize. I don't think either player's in full flight.
94-95 average. They've got 6 or 7 points down on what they produced on the big stage already this weekend. As you say, so much at stake.
Seems more of a game of tension, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it'll come down to mental strength as well as their skill with the dart in the hand. Who can handle the pressure when it kicks in the later stages? Because everything's pointing to this match going the distance.
92.
Decent start in this leg from both players. Norris could leave himself a finish here. Well, he will now. Definitely will now. Another maximum for Norris, his 4th. Back comes Price though. Leaves himself tops.
Brilliant response again from the Welshman. Norris eyeing an 11 or 12 darter. He's got 1 dart at the bull.
46.
He'd have hoped for better. It was a brilliant response from Price after the maximum from Norris. Got to finish the job. 3 more missed darts at double. That's 6 darts in the last 2 legs. Blown by Gerwyn Price. Immense frustration. Double 8 to steal. He's pinched the last 2 legs, Alan Norris. Gerwyn Price only has himself to blame.
Well, Norris was given the chances, but to be fair to him, he still had to take them, as Gerwyn did against Ian White. If you get the chance, you've got to take it.
Small margins will decide semi-finals like this when they're so tight.
100.
16 missed darts, a double from Price. And 6 out of 11 for Norris.
140.
It's not just
Key
the missed
stat at the
doubles, 'cause
moment.
everyone's going to miss a double here and there, but when you have three clean darts in your hand at a double, that's when it hurts, because you almost feel like you should have had the leg.
100. 125.
2 tons from Norris, but Price is pressuring the throw. Oh, that was
65.
unlucky.
Let's see where it went. Click the barrel, then click the wire.
100.
The Price on a finish, trying to break straight back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with his scoring, just missed a couple of doubles here and there.
58. Going to reply 136. 96.
That'll do nicely. Possible 13 darter to hit straight back for Gerwyn Price.
He's got to get that thought from the last 2 legs, where he's had 3 clean darts at the double, out of his mind.
48.
Go straight for it.
40. No score.
Oh, it's 3 legs on the spin, Stuart.
Well, it can't happen again, can it? Price missed 3 in leg 10, lost it. Missed 3 in leg 11, lost it. He just missed 3 more.
Well, they will be getting another visit.
Going to reply 40.
Norris just couldn't hit the treble.
Well, Norris has had 18 darts on his own throw and not had a dart at a double, so that's got to be a good marker.
Game surely 12 leg.
Yeah. Much relief for Gerwyn Price.
13 legs.
But it's 6-6 in the semi-final.
Oh, he needed that one.
Game on.
An array of missed doubles. If he'd have missed that one, he would have given Norris another chance.
Yeah, just confirming it. If Gerwyn Price goes on to win this, wins the event, he goes up to 16 in the world. Norris will go into the top 16, maybe up to 15th.
140.
Good start to the leg. 140, 140, 140.
I think getting back into the match, those misses on his throw, as Price hits another maximum, cruising in this leg.
It's 6 legs apiece. Norris has had only 11 darts at double in the entire match. Price has had 27. About to have his 28th and his 29th. But he makes it count, and he's back in front. 29 darts at double for the Welshman, only 11 so far for Norris.
That's amazing, that, isn't it?
85.
Well, Norris won a big Pro Tour event last weekend. He knows how to win on these
100.
big busy days, but this is a totally different scenario for him.
100.
You can
Big
see he's
TV
mad with
major.
himself, can't you? You could just see that grimace. He knows he's not quite in top gear.
99.
This is better. This is wonderful. Fifth maximum for Norris.
11 in the match.
98, Alan Power 136.
Another one of those for double 8.
120.
I think he just for his confidence, that would have been a big boost to hit 180 and 136 in 6 darts.
Yeah, you can take that on into the next leg, can't
44,
you?
Alan, you require 16.
Well, you don't want to be leaving missing double 8 here with Price on 160 after what he did to Ian White. But on we go. 7 apiece.
100.
Right against Gurney to come.
Just about saved it with that last dart. It's a big leg, this one, before a break. Number 7 for Price.
100.
Price just seems to be scoring a little bit better in the last 10 minutes or so. Norris seems to be he's fighting away, obviously, but he's just not quite getting into the groove. Well, this is a decent visit.
133.
Leaves the dangerous 130, but Price 72.
To edge closer to the final of the UK Open. We are going to have a thrilling finale guaranteed between Gerwyn Price and Alan Norris. 11 is the magic number. Price leads 8-7. All to play for. A first-time winner of a TV major and the first new winner of a big major event for nearly 5 years. Daryl Gurney against Peter Wright to come in the second semi-final. This one is beautifully poised. 8-7, Price leads on throw. Alan Norris playing catch-up. Far from his best, Norris.
16.
He's going to have to up it if he wants to take out Price here.
Norris just lost his
he just
scoring,
looks more comfortable, more relaxed, doesn't he? Relaxed in the situation and everything's at stake.
What he's got to still remember is he's only 1 leg behind.
60.
But there's no doubt about it. Over the last 4 or 5 legs, his consistent scoring hasn't been there.
100.
Needs a big visit here, Norris. Norris led 3-1 and 4 legs out of 5 for Price. Norris levelled at 5-all.
57.
We know he is playing catch-up, but it just feels like he's scrambling, doesn't he? Trying to hang on to the coattails of Gerwyn Price. Big 140, and Norris in a spot of bother here.
At the wrong time. Can't buy a trouble.
100.
Gets one there.
124.
A bit too late, you feel.
Treble 8 would have left tops.
84.
No need to go for the bull with Norris in such a precarious position. Well, a shake of the head. It's been an awful leg. He's had 15 darts on throw. And he's finally left to finish. 15 darts Gerwyn Price has had at tops. And that's the 5th time that he's hit it. And he's 9-7 in front. And he's throwing to go within a leg of a major TV final.
Looks like he wants it. Norris needs a big spark.
59.
As you see, the legs run against throw. There isn't a lot in it.
Well, of course, because Price has the darts, it means that Norris is going to have to break twice.
Well, you feel if he doesn't win this leg, it is a big uphill battle.
26.
But he has a chance. 2 poor visits from Price on this occasion. It's amazing. One good leg can just change things. Change your thought process.
35.
Yeah, and it's Price's turn to struggle on throw.
Well, they have to be thinking about it, what's at stake here. They really do. A Grand Slam spot as a starter, a title up for grabs, the prize money moving up the rankings.
Well, the fact that it is nearly 5 years since the last first winner of a big PDC major title, they're few and far between, aren't they? There aren't many playing who've won them. And you look at the likes of, well, just look at Terry Jenkins, who tried so many times and failed. 7-7.
72.
Well, I find that strange.
Yeah, I know. What if he'll come back and split it?
68 in his hand. Maybe he never looked at the score. Maybe he was just focusing on winning the leg.
14.
Well, there we go. Very confident. Hats off to Norris. Didn't even think about splitting it.
Well, that's the first job done.
Yeah, he knows best. He's broken. That's one break of throwback.
And he's still 50% on the doubles.
Kept him in it.
100.
Just needs to up his scoring on a regular basis. The consistency hasn't been there as it has been in previous rounds. Still decent averages though. Just under 95 and just under 93. Nothing wrong with that. I know sometimes we're blessed with incredible ones, but that's still pretty steady.
Finally a big treble for Price. Last couple of legs. Bethan, Gerwyn Price's partner.
100.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's starting to score better. It's a big leg for both players, this one.
140.
Put Price one leg away. Look at Norris. Level. Maybe thinking he's got a chance.
Big visit for Alan Norris. Another one of those puts the pressure on. Back-to-back 140s for Price. And you feel that Norris has to take this out.
Well, he took this out to win his first leg of the match. But nothing will be as important as that one. 9 apiece. Can feel the tension.
140.
Well, they both went to last leg deciders in dramatic quarter-finals. Is it going to happen again in the semi-final?
140.
first big TV final in the PDC within touching distance for Gerwyn Price and for Alan Norris.
58.
Alan Norris now will be thinking, come on, I've got to jump on this. I've been behind in the last 10 or 15 minutes. This could be my chance.
95.
Just about okay.
Again, an important last start for the Welshman.
Well, they can mean so much, even though it's not one of the big scores. It's a score that he needed.
87.
Same with Norris there.
Last
Just getting
three
that
visits.
one.
They've got a treble 20 with the last start in hand.
Has to go for 19s here. A single 20 would have left a bogey number. Looking at the setup, 160 left. If he can get another one, would be a perfect visit, and he knows it.
Well, what a turnaround. Gerwyn Price led 9-7. And Alan Norris here looking for the break of throw, which would leave him throwing for the match for a third consecutive leg. 9-7 down. Is he about to hit the front? Well. That pressure word again. Is he going to go tops? And another. Oh, he's done it again! Huge finish from Gerwyn Price. Alan Norris. What on earth? 3 darts to go within a leg. He would have been throwing for it. But you've got to give it to this man. Cool under pressure. Is that the moment that turns this match?
Aaron Norris will be wondering what happened there.
41.
He's
still
clawed his way back into the match. He looked like he'd done enough. As you say, Stuart, he would have been throwing first. Well, he is throwing first. He would have been throwing for the match. He misses with 3 clean darts. Price again, not for the first time today, takes out a crucial finish.
Can Norris force a decider? Those 2 darts at double 10, they were so close, but not close enough.
131.
Another brilliant visit from the Welshman. He's flying on adrenaline, but those flying arrows are doing the business for Gerwyn Price at the moment. Effectively, he has the darts. And he does now.
140 here, we'll leave 96. Just calming himself down.
Wow, brilliant. He's left 96 after 9. Potentially 2 or 3 darts away from reaching a huge final. And it's all gone horribly wrong, it seems, for Alan Norris.
30. Gerwyn required 96.
And those 3 darts at double will be on his mind, no doubt. They have to be.
Well, that all comes down to pressure as well. But Norris is so far behind.
76.
And Gerwyn Price, match point, deep breath. Was it too little, too late? He's now relying on Gerwyn Price missing. The Welshman steps up for a place in the final of the UK Open. Gerwyn Price goes through to his first ever major TV final. He's clinched a place in the Grand Slam. He's having the day of his life. He's having the weekend of his life. And Gerwyn Price will play either Peter Wright or Daryl Gurney in the final. What a story. Price takes out Norris, 11-9.
Gerwyn Price is into his first major final. The former pro rugby player from Caerphilly has beaten the Oval-born Alan Norris 11-9 and is on course to be the first ever PDC major winner from Wales. He only went to Q School for the first time 3 years ago. What an achievement from him. Well, Gerwyn averaged almost 96 tonight, hit 7 180s. He put away a third of his doubles, and he's talking to Ned, along with Alan Norris, who also has had a fabulous tournament.
That's right, Jackie. Both gentlemen have been good enough to join me. Just very briefly, Gerwyn, big congratulations. But I'll start with you, if I may, Alan. I mean, the stats tell the story. That was mighty close, and the margins were extremely fine once again.
Yeah, good game. Missed a double top there to get back into it. Took me time, got back into the game, and yeah, 3 darts at tops to go 10-9 up with a throw, I think. So yeah.
So, I mean, nothing wrong with your darts, but that's a measure of how good your opponent was today, that those little slips cost you ultimately, I suppose.
Yeah, he got in when he needed to, he enjoyed himself.
Did you?
Not really, not at all, because, I was going in, I think it was 5-all, and I'd bombed 3 or 4 chances, and all week I've been hitting my scores and checking out, and they just deserted me tonight, and I don't know what was going on, but thankfully, when it counted, it went in at the end.
Absolutely. And Alan, coming into this weekend, I'm sure probably, it might be difficult now, but you would have said, well, a semi-final wouldn't be a bad return, and you can reflect on a good weekend.
Nothing bad with a semi in my head, is there? At the end of the day, it's we can talk who's here, who's not here, but we've got to go win in the final, so everybody should be happy.
You have got to go win in the final. What a result! I mean, you've got to regroup and go again. Biggest game of your life. You've just won the biggest game of your life. 35 grand already pocketed, rocketed up the rankings into Wolverhampton, and on and on. This is hell of a story, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been playing well on the floor, but it's just trying to get it on TV, and that wasn't the best of games for me. Alan can play 10 times better, so can I, but it was a semi-final, my first one. I'm not sure if it was Alan's first one. I was a little bit nervous, a little bit edgy, as you can tell on the doubles, but I won. I'm into my first ever final, and I'm over the moon. We'll
see you again. Well done. And Alan, we'll see you again on the next one. Well done, both of you. Cheers.
Not only has Gerwyn Price taken Alan Norris's potential place in the final, he's also taken his number 17 spot in the world. We'll see how he gets on a little bit later on tonight. Well, on to our second semi-final now, and Peter Snakebite Wright is in the form of his life. The 110 average in the quarter-final was his second highest ever on television, the second highest ever, after hitting his highest on Thursday in the Premier League in Exeter. Let's find out if we can reach the third UK Open final in